providing only 20% video as a part of promotion. For remaining 80%, that is 6 to 8 articles, current affairs video and general studies complete videos, please subscribe to our complete package. 2. Low sunlight and vitamin D leads to higher risk of leukemia, new study. GS Paper 3, Issues relating to health, education, human resources. What does the study says? People residing at higher latitudes, with lower sunlight or ultraviolet B exposure and greater prevalence of vitamin D deficiency, are at least 2 times at greater risk of developing leukemia than equatorial populations. These results suggest that much of the burden of leukemia worldwide is due to the epidemic of vitamin D deficiency, which the populations distant from the equator experience. Leukemia rates were highest in countries relatively closer to the poles, such as Australia, New Zealand, Chile, Ireland, Canada and the United States. They were lowest in countries closer to the equator, such as Bolivia, Samoa, Madagascar, and Nigeria. According to the American Cancer Society, 54,270 cases and 24,450 deaths from leukemia occur in the United States alone each year. There is no known way to prevent most types of leukemia, though some types may be prevented by avoiding high doses of ionizing radiation, exposure to the chemical benzene, smoking and certain types of chemotherapy. What is leukemia? Leukemia is a group of cancers that usually begin in the bone marrow and result in high numbers of abnormal white blood cells. These white blood cells are not fully developed and are called blasts or leukemia cells. Symptoms may include bleeding and bruising problems, feeling tired, fever, and an increased risk of infections. These symptoms occur due to a lack of normal blood cells. Diagnosis is typically made by blood tests or bone marrow biopsy. 3. Aerosols. Land use changes may greatly weaken monsoon. GS Paper 3, Environment and Ecology, Nature Climate Change. Why recently in news? Journal Climate Dynamics published that weakening of South Asian monsoons are due to increased greenhouse gas (GHG) emissions, atmospheric aerosols and land use changes. The monsoon is mainly driven by thermal contrast between the Indian subcontinent and the adjoining ocean. This scenario, however, is changed due to the presence of greenhouse gases, aerosols in the atmosphere or if the land has been subjected to increased deforestation. What factors are weakening monsoons and at the same time increasing incidence of extreme rainfall events? 1. Greenhouse gases trap the heat over land and sea and result in both the land and sea being warm, that is, the thermal contrast is greatly reduced. This leads to a weakening of the monsoon circulation and the result is a weakened monsoon. However, a warmed-up atmosphere can hold more moisture and this situation can result in heavy rainfall over some regions. 2. Anthropogenic atmospheric aerosols, including sulfates, black carbon, nitrates and dust accumulate over the Indo-Gangetic plains. These reduce incoming solar radiation over northern India and the northern Indian Ocean and lead to cooling on both land and sea resulting in a lowered thermal contrast. Hence, monsoon winds and circulation are weakened as both land and sea are cooled. Evaporation is also suppressed. Over South Asia, over 50% of aerosol emissions are caused by biomass and agricultural burning. There is mounting evidence of the emissions from South Asia and China in changing the timing, spatial distribution and strength of the monsoon. However, negative impacts of these aerosols can be reduced quickly as they have a short lifetime of few weeks compared to GHGs, which can stay in the atmosphere for up to 80 years. 3. Albedo effect of deforestation by humans, a third contributor to monsoon weakening. Reduced land cover increases the reflectivity, albedo effect, which leads to cooling of land in contrast to the ocean and results in a weakened monsoon circulation. This could be particularly important over South Asia as tree fraction has decreased by 30% and crop cover increased by 45% in the past century. Conclusion. The combined effect of these forcings is causing weakening of monsoons. Just aerosol and land use changes would likely lead to a greater weakening of the monsoon than has been observed in recent decades. There is still more to do in understanding how these will individually affect the monsoon.